Welcome back, friends, to another The City of Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video. Lids87 here, and today I am bringing you guys another Are They Worth It video where I cover an upcoming banner to see if said units are worth your tickets and or gems. And before I get into it, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. And before I continue, I never really given a thank you or a shout outs to where my information comes from. I'd like to give credit to credit it's due, so thank you to the Opera Omnia database, to Safina's, and to the main Opera Omnia Reddit, because that's where I pull all these wonderful stats together to present to you guys, because without those I would just be sitting here as like, yeah, they attack and then they do something else, second ability, and just pull for them, right? So thank you, a huge shout out to those database, Safina's, and Reddit, as again I wouldn't be able to do all these wonderful stats without them. Okay, so on June 15th UTC time, the day I am making this video, Alphino's Lost Chapter will be coming. Surprisingly, there's no reworks on this one. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little surprised. So on this banner, we have Yda and Alphibro. Yda's EX weapon will be returning. We did get it before when Alphino first debuted, and we will be seeing Alphino's EX weapon for the very first time. And Celeste is in the upper right hand corner. She applied to be a Scion. We will see if her application goes through. The very first unit we are going to be talking about is Yda. Pros about Yda: beautiful, beautiful, pure, selfish damage. She's a great attacker, guys. So she gives herself some nice buffs with her Snap Punch, which is her first ability, 60% up to attack and speed, and 40% up to max Brave. Now, while she is buffed, her HP and Brave Attack upgrade to their HP Attack Plus and Brave Attack Plus. If you happen to use Brave Attack Plus, Snap Punch becomes Snap Punch Plus, which will increase its potency by 100%. With 180% max Brave overflow. Upon using Snap Punch Plus, it will revert back to Snap Punch. With her EX weapon, she gets a new buff called Grease Lightning. It is a stackable buff. Max stacks is 1. Now, when she is at 1 stack, this will grant her 20% up to attack and upgrade Tornado Kick, which is her EX ability, to Tornado Kick Plus. If you use Tornado Kick Plus, this will consume 1 stack of Grease Lightning and revert it back down to 0. But there are 2 ways you can grant Yda stacks of Grease Lightning. One way is to use her Snap Punch Plus, which you get after using Brave Attack Plus, and she automatically gets a stack if you upgrade her EX Plus to 2 out of 3. Yda does have some debuffs built into her second ability, Touch of Death, which inflicts 80% poison to that target and 10% sap, which is going to help you tremendously keep control of the enemy's Brave. Now, if you happen to take Yda up to EX Plus 3 out of 3, she has amazing Brave Attack Plus Plus, HP Attack Plus Plus. Now, if she breaks a target, this does not work if the target is already broken. Keywords there. If she breaks a target, she will get an additional free turn. So at this point, treat it almost like a vein free turn, not free turns, because additional free turns cannot be added if she is already in that additional free turn, so to say. So she can't keep stacking this. She will only get this once after breaking an enemy until it's her turn again. So during this phase, during this portion, this is where a lot of her damage will be coming out. And on top of all of this, her EX charges really fast. It's fast. Now, she doesn't have party-wide noteworthy passives, but I wanted to throw these in there just so you guys can see what they do for her. C15 raises attack by 10%, C54 raises max Brave by 40%, C58 raises max Brave and attack by 40%, and C68 raises it Brave and attack by 20%. She's going to be hitting hard, guys. She's going to be hitting hard. Now, if you decide to invest in her 3 out of 3, EX plus 3 out of 3, there's no... Don't cheap out on her, guys. Do not cheap out on her. If you're going to invest in her, don't skimp out on those ingots for her, because at EX plus 3 out of 3, Tornado Kick Plus, it does hits harder stuff, it gets stronger, it has 20% of splash damage to non-targeted enemies. This is where she gets her Brave Attack Plus Plus and her HP Attack Plus Plus. When she breaks the target, she gets an additional free turn. But to help you dish out even more damage with her HP Attack Plus Plus, her HP Attack Plus Plus will raise her own Brave by 70% of attack before her own HP attack. After maxing her realized EX weapon, she will give an A-type bonus sphere. So when attacking an enemy not targeting self, so the wielder of this bonus sphere, this will increase Brave damage dealt by 10%. So pair up a tank with the wielder of this bonus sphere just so they can dish out that much more damage and take full advantage of this bonus sphere. Now, one of my, I guess I'm being nitpicky at this point, because she really doesn't have any cons. It's not like Thancred where he needs to poison an enemy for him to do damage. That doesn't apply to Yda. But I do wish that she was able to reset the break status of enemies, kind of like lightning, kind of like Cloud of Darkness, or even Aranea with Aranea's second ability where she resets the enemy's break status, just so Yda can take full advantage of her HP attack plus and the additional free turns. It's time to talk about the main unit on this banner. I mean, it is his lost chapter, and it's going to be Alphibro and Moonstone, because they do fight together, and that thing is freaking adorable. Just look at it. Look at it. I'm not gonna lie, my brain sort of melted with Alphibro's kit, because there's a lot tied into his kit. Even like there's some interesting mechanics, but I will try to do my best to summarize it. So pros about Alphibro: heals to the party in the form of Brave healing and HP healing with his Energy Drain, which is his second ability. He does have a buff called Moonstone, and you get this by either using Summon Moonstone, which is his first ability, or he does get Moonstone at the start of the quest. So what Moonstone does, it gives the party 20% max brave up, 20% brave damage reduction, upgrades his brave attack and HP attacks into Sick and Shining Moonstone in that order. But if Alphibro gets broken, this will remove Moonstone. Don't get broken. This was not removed with his lost chapter. It's still here, so don't get broken. Now with his EX weapon, he gets a new buff called Obsidian. Now after using Obsidian Combination, which is his EX ability, he grants himself Obsidian for 4 turns. And let me tell you right now, using Obsidian Combination, no action delay, free turn. It's free. Now if you're at EX plus 3 at 3 massive damage, it's executed twice. If there's a lot of enemies, this is going to do a lot of damage. Upon using Obsidian Combination, this will cancel Moonstone and grant you Obsidian, so the gloves are off. This will now transform Brave into Sick Obsidian and HP attack into Shining Obsidian. Now his upgraded Brave attack, Sick Obsidian, it's an AoE Brave plus AoE HP attack, but he does refund himself 30% of the HP damage dealt, just so you can protect yourself from getting broken if you have to attack and or dump out said Brave. Now this is the best part about his entire kit, is Shining Obsidian, his upgraded HP attack while Obsidian is active. Aside from doing damage to the enemies and 50% HP damage to non-targeted enemies, after you use Obsidian, inflicts defense down to all enemies, poisons all enemies, and on the following turn does not consume ability use. So you're going to be juggling between Shining Obsidian and either Summon Moonstone or Energy Drain, depending on your situation and if you can avoid a break. So if you do this properly, so Shining Obsidian into Energy Drain, Shining Obsidian into Energy Drain, or Shining Obsidian if his Obsidian goes away on the last turn, and the following you can summon out Moonstone for free. So with Shining Obsidian, he has probably the best longevity of any character that I know to date. Do keep in mind though that if he gets broken, or you summon Moonstone, he will lose Obsidian. So again, be very careful not to get broken. If you find yourself in a situation, just use Sick Obsidian, his upgraded Brave attack, to refund yourself and hopefully avoid a break. Now he does grant himself another buff with his EX being at 2 out of 3 called Shadow Flare, which this will increase his attack and max brave by 60%, and this will reduce the enemy speed by 10% and deal brave damage based on Imp Brave before the turn begins. So this brave damage on top of his Shining Obsidian's poison is going to help you control the enemy's brave. Now this is where I freaking got lost thanks to Safina's and Opera Omnia, the Reddit, because so the main thing to take away from this is what I highlighted in green. So any of these effects can occur. So the first portion, the top half is with Moonstone, the second half is with Obsidian. So with Moonstone, I highlighted the green one, the one that I like the most. If owned Brave is higher than 80% of max Brave, grants itself Radiant Moon for 1 turn, which will increase his attack and overflow limit by 20%. And while Obsidian is active, he will either grant himself Obsidian's Radiance for 3 actions, or he will recover his own Brave. Now, when Obsidian's Radiance is active, he will increase his max Brave stolen overflow by 20% and increase Brave damage dealt to debuffed targets. I mean, if you need to look more into this, I'm not going to cover it all. Just pause it and just, there you go, enjoy. Alphibro's noteworthy passives, C50 raises party's max Raven attack by 10% while buffed. This can be further increased with his artifact passive, Etherflow Boost, which will raise party's max Raven attack by 5% while buffed, so an additional 15% if you happen to get all 3, which I highly recommend. And his C68, which will raise the party's Imp Raven attack by 10%. EX Plus recommendations, man, guys, are you guys hunting for ingots? This month is brutal, guys. Oh my gosh, this month is so brutal. We really need more ingots. So at least 1 out of 3, because he will grant the party max Brave attack plus 50%. And I'm saying at least, guys, because of course Alphibro gets better with the more ingots you invest of him. Because at 2 out of 3 when the quest starts, he grants himself Shadow Flare for 6 turns right off the bat, and his EX ability is filled to the max when the quest starts. So you could go into his EX ability into Shining Obsidian. At 3 out of 3, his EX ability is executed twice the damage, and he gets Sick Obsidian Plus and Shining Obsidian Plus. So again, guys, at least do it 1 out of 3, but if you can give this guy more ingots, he is one of those units that definitely gets better the more you invest in him. But I mean, who doesn't nowadays? Play square, just give us more ingots. Now, if you happen to max out his EX weapon, his realized EX weapon, he has a C-type bonus sphere, which after granting a buff, raises party's int brave and attack by 5% for 3 turns. That's not bad at all. I will take that. Alphibro's cons: do not get broken. Do not get broken. You will lose Moonstone. You will lose Obsidian. There goes your power spike. Do not get broken. Repeat, do not get broken. Try to pair him with a tank. If there's an AoE attack coming your way, you brave him up. Don't let him get broken. And also a second thing to keep in mind though, with his HP healing with his energy drain, it could be a little bit more potent. I did notice myself when I would use him on JP that I would sometimes, if there were like massive attacks, I would struggle a little bit to heal up the party's HP. So just keep that in mind. So if you want to pair him up with another HP healer, that'll be even better. Time for the recommendation, time for that part of the video. Are they worth it? Are they worth your tickets and or gems? Tickets, keys, keys, gems, keys. Keys is coming. Now, all right, so what you guys are going to do, if you guys are looking to pull for keys, that's if you're not a fan of Crystal Chronicles, you guys could give 2 shits about keys. Let's be real. Some people just absolutely don't like Crystal Chronicles, or they just don't like keys at all. So for that reason alone, then yes, go in on this banner. But if you are planning to go in for keys, you can wait a few days, because keys is literally a few days from when Alpha No's Lost Chapter comes out, from when this banner goes live. So you could pull on keys, and if you get lucky, you can come back to this banner. Because I will say that this is a good banner. This is an amazing Scion's banner. Celeste's application to become a Scion of the 7th Dawn went through, so she's officially now a Scion on this banner. So let's Yda. Talk about her right away. Great attacker. She's a really good attacker. She does what she does really well. Fast EX charging EX ability. Very fast. 3 additional turns with her upgraded Brave Attack plus HP Attack plus. You do have to take her to EX plus 3 out of 3 though to take full advantage of that. Poison and Sap with Touch of Death. Gonna really help you out control the enemy's brave. And even if the enemy resists poison or sap, like I mentioned earlier, she's not like Thancred. She does not depend on that in order for her to do additional damage like Thancred, so you can still use her even if poison and sap is resisted. Just use Touch of Death to dump out her brave. And I will say this though, on JP, unfortunately during this time like we're experiencing now, I was hurting on ingot. I do wish I 3 out of 3'd her over on the JP side of the game, because she looks like she's very fun to use. The best I could do is just watch other people who maxed her out use her, and she looks very, very fun to use. Alphibro, he's more of like a hybrid support attacker, more on the support side, EX plus 3 out of 3, more on the attacker side. He has amazing longevity with Shining Obsidian. Remember, you're going to be juggling between Shining Obsidian and his energy drain, and then refresh Summon Moonstone when Obsidian is about to run out. And if you do it properly, you could get away with free abilities the entire quest, if you do it properly. His poison does come in useful, but with his Shadow Flare, if you pair him up with Yda, because Yda has poison and sap, Alphibro with his Shadow Flare does brave damage based on int brave. Remember Sarah? Remember character named Sarah? Same concept. It's what is enemy brave? It's gonna be gone. And other than that, just me personally, like on the JP side of the game, I loved Alpha No. I did skip out on keys. I did get Alpha No's EX weapon. I will say that I used him for a while, for a long time. And I really enjoyed Alpha No, so both of these units, if you are going to go on this banner, they're both pity-worthy units. Regardless if you decide to use tickets or gems, they are both pity-worthy units. Yda, excellent attacker. Alpha No, excellent support / pseudo attacker with his EX plus being at 3 out of 3. You can't go wrong in this banner. You can't go wrong on any of the upcoming banners on the horizon. If you're asking yourself, Lids, do I need Alpha No? Look at your roster. If you are in need of a pseudo attacker support, like if you don't have someone like, for example, like Freya, Alphibro will come in handy. I mean, of course, he doesn't have Soothing Petals, which is like the last stand to the party, which Freya gives to the party, but they are both great units in their own right. So I will say this, if you do decide to pull on this banner, you do decide to max them out, even if they're your favorites or not, you can't go wrong with this banner. Just keep in mind that Keys is in a few days, so if you want to wait for Keys, pull on there, come back, and hopefully RNG will be on your side. Now, let's take a peek into the future to see for any of my planners if you guys are going to be skipping out on this banner because Keys just left you dry or Arciala left you dry from gems or resources, to see where they come back so you guys can pick them out at a later banner. So Yda does come back on two good banners, two great banners. On Warrior of Light's LD and Burst, and on Ramza's LD and Burst debut banners. So Warrior of Light, he does, wow, he gets really good. I like Warrior of Light on the JP side of the game with his, you need at least his LD, where his LD gives the party HP damage reduction based on how much shield value the party has. So Warrior of Light's LD will make him an excellent tank. His burst effect will give Brave regen based on the shield value of the party, so massive amounts of Brave heals to the party. You don't need Warrior Light's burst. I would just recommend just getting his LD. So if you are going to decide to chase after Warrior of Light, Yda is on this banner, and it's a great place to pick her up. And the second banner that she comes out on is the Ramza banners, the Ramza LD and Burst banner. Ramza's LD delays the enemies, he does damage, braves the party, initiates chase. Burst effect, just massive buff to the party. So if you do decide that you want Ramza's LD and Burst instead, Yda is on this banner, and it's another excellent place to pick up Yda. Alphibro, he is on one banner, and it's interesting because it's during Arden's LD and Burst debut, where I do recommend you guys pick up his LD and Burst if you can. But he is on the second banner, where it's only Arden's Burst and Renoa's LD weapon, which she of course gets better. She does like the Angelo shooting star where they go like crazy. Angelo's invincible, Angelo best doggo like ever. So if you're a fan of Renoa and don't care about Arden, like if you're not going to chase Arden's LD or Burst because you're broke from Noctis, then this is a good banner to pick up Alphibro. That is it for this video, friends. I want to thank you guys for watching another Are They Worth It video. Be sure to let me know down below in the comments what you guys are gonna do. Me personally, I'm gonna throw a lot of tickets on this banner. I've been waiting for this banner. Again, I had much love for Alphibro from the JP side of the game. He treated me right. Yda, I wish I would have invested in her. So if I pick up either or, I will 3 out of 3 of them. If I get both, I don't know. So I'm looking to do maybe like 200 tickets at least for Alphibro and Yda, because Keys, I'm going to use gems, so I don't have to worry about tickets there. And hopefully RNG will be on my side. So again, friends, be sure to let me know how hurt you are for not having any ingots left, how your resources are doing from Arciala, how your resources are going to be from Keys. I can tell you it's not over yet. There's a lot of amazing banners heading our way, so be sure to let me know your plans down below in the comments, especially if you're going to be pulling on this banner. All right, friends, so seriously, good luck with RNG. And until next time, have a good one.